Hey everyone, it's Nelson Miller here with PA Creative, and in this tutorial I am going to show you how to replace a WordPress plugin file or theme file. So this is useful if you need to troubleshoot an issue or get a new version of a plugin or theme and you need to manually replace the existing file. And this can be a little confusing if you've never done it. So I recognize that this is kind of a basic tutorial, but it's also something that you may not be aware of how easy WordPress has made this to do. So I'm going to show you that. Let's get started. And it's true that I do a variety of tutorials here on my blog and YouTube channel. Some are, more advanced or beginner or intermediate. It really is a variety. So if you already know how to do this, well then you can just move along. That's perfectly fine. There are some use cases though for this tutorial. And I listed 3 of them that I have personally faced. Now I am a plugin developer and I'm also a user of plugins and themes. So I have a lot of experience. And this is definitely something that people don't know how to do. I mean, it's probably once a week that someone asks me how to replace a plugin file and they ask me, well, if I do that, will I lose all my settings? What's going to happen when I do this? So hopefully this gives you some peace of mind. So we've had this happen with a security plugin or something like Cloudflare or WordFence actually blocking our update system for our plugin. So normally, you would get an automatic update. And like I said, we've had this issue sometimes. I'll often say, yeah, this must be just one of those random issues. Can you go to our account, go to your account on our website, download the file and just upload it? And almost every time the response back is like, well, wouldn't that, how could I do that? Wouldn't that hurt the file? Like, wouldn't I lose settings? And no, it won't. And the other issue is sometimes Divi will actually have a file that's just corrupted. Maybe you've updated from an older version and you got the update, or maybe the update process was interrupted. That could happen even with a plugin. So if something, didn't quite transfer from their server to your site, there may be something that's not quite working. In fact, I've seen one where it was like missing the style.css file in Divi, and literally by just downloading a fresh version of the file and uploading it, it will fix it. And then there's also bug fixes. Sometimes we know of an issue with one of our plugins, it affects a few people, and we'll fix it, but it's, we haven't quite released the official, update. So someone else will ask me like, hey, I have this issue. And I'll be like, hey, we actually fixed this. Here's the updated file for you. It's not public yet. And go ahead and install this and it will be fixed on your site. So this is for those use cases, and I'm sure there's more. Now it's really easy. So the first method is the easiest and the best. Just go to your WordPress site and I'll just walk you through this. You would go to your dashboard, go in the back end here, look for the plugins menu, and you can click on add new right here. Now this is for a plugin that you already have installed. So this is, again, when you're replacing an existing file. You could go up here to upload plugin, and then what you want to do is actually upload that same plugin, whether it's a new file or the same version or whatever. You're going to be looking for that same file that you have downloaded on your computer. Now, if you haven't done that, go do that. In fact, I think I have it linked here. You may want to go, like if it's a free plugin, go into the WordPress repository, look for it, download the file. Let's say you've purchased it on a site like mine from a developer, from Elegant Themes, wherever. Go into the account, download the file, save it to your computer, then come to your website, add new, upload plugin, and then choose the file. Now in this example, I'm just choosing one of the plugins that I know I have installed. So I'll click install now. And again, WordPress is smart. Hey, it's look at it. It's like, hey, this plugin is already installed. And that's good that it knows that. It's saying, here's the current one. It's called Divi Responsive Helper, and the version is 2.2.3. Oh, and here is what you've uploaded. It's the same plugin, but now the version is this, 2.3. and then you're updating a plugin because it knows that it's the same one and it knows the version number is higher. How do you want to proceed here? Replace current with uploaded or cancel and go back. So this blue button, replace current with uploaded, is what you want. So in the use cases that I described, you would do this. Now we're replacing the one that was installed with the one that we just uploaded, so we're essentially just updating. It's like we're manually updating, and now we've updated the plugin. It would be the same for themes. You could go to Appearance and then go up here to Add New, and it's the exact same process. And I've just reiterated here that replacing the plugin will not affect your settings. So like that was a good example plugin. Some people will ask me, well, I've already adjusted some settings, in the theme options and in the modules. If I add the new plugin file, well, I don't want to lose everything. Well, you wouldn't, because that's saved in the database. It's not, replacing. It's not like you're, it's not like if it was a different plugin, or if you had a setting where you deleted your data when you uninstalled the old one, there would be a couple scenarios that you'd have to consider, but 99% of the time, you're updating the plugin. You're not changing your settings. You're not changing what's in the database. Okay. All right. The second method that I have here is more for the advanced users, and I mentioned it, but it's like you probably already know how to do this, because if you're an advanced user, you would know how to do it. So in a file manager. So if you install a plugin like the one I have here, in fact, this one's called just File Manager or WP File Manager. I can go here. And then I happen to know that plugins and themes are stored in the WP content folder. So when you're like in your public HTML file folder, then WP content, open that up, and then in themes, and then in themes you see Divi. Now you'll notice it's not a zip file. The one you would download from Elegant Themes would be a zip file. So you'd have to unzip it, and then you could just replace. So I could come here. What would be the option? This one, I think, upload files. So I could click this and then select the Divi theme, and then it would do the same process, comparing it and replacing. Okay. And again, only do this if you're really comfortable with it. And this would be the same for FTP as well, when you're using an FTP client to manage your files, and you could just replace it like that. But ultimately, the idea is that you're getting the newest file, or maybe a changed file. Maybe you're just replacing the same one, or maybe it is newer. That doesn't really matter. The process will be the same, and these options will change. Like if you installed an older version, in fact, I could show you. So I had 2.2.3. Look here. Now I went backwards 2.2.2, and look, it turned red, which is just a nice little visual indicator. Like, hey, do you realize you're going to like an older version? And that's good. All right. All right. So I hope you found this helpful. We do tutorials here all the time, every week, in fact. So if you like this kind of thing, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And we'll see you all in the next video.